The Frightful Man. Charlie's donkey's dead, he died for the want of bread. Some said it was God's doing, but more blamed the devil, saying that God would never be responsible for such terrible physical retribution. Charlie kept donkeys. He kept them like himself in squalor. He also starved them and beat them. He showed them no mercy. One day he was venting his wicked rage on one of the donkeys when it suddenly turned on him and with hooves and teeth battered and bit him to a near-death pulp. For Charlie to have died then might have been merciful, for after many operations over many painful years, he was left so horribly deformed that his life became an agonizing, earthbound penance. His body was bent from the hip, right leg twisted under his rear, useless foot dragging. Left leg, good foot useless, bent knee brushing against his left ear. His trunk too was bent and twisted, giving him the overall appearance of a broken-legged, hunchbacked dwarf. Only his arms and his hands had been spared sufficiently to be used along with a small 6-inch bent steel crutch in his crab-like crawl that was to be his walking for the rest of his days. His British tip spot was alongside the almanac man, but they never spoke to one another. Charlie rarely spoke to anyone, the sole exception being Sarah, whom he lived with. When sympathetic passers-by put pennies in his poffered cap, no word or sign of gratitude would come from Charlie. All he would do was look with his eyes malevolent from under his thick, black, bushy-eyed brows, conveying bitter envy to his benefactor. Charlie was at his beggar's pitch in practically all weathers. His alternative was to crouch in the doorway of his one-room, ground-floor home, helpless not to frighten the children with his black, spidered mimicry, or to sleep still in his lifelong squat on the dilapidated sofa that was his bed. When Charlie's house was demolished, he was moved to live in a caravan, high on the mountainside, far from his British ship, there to complete his penance. The children hurried past.